What's up guys, it's Brandon Childs, and today I'm going over what's known as the greatest stretch in the world and also how to take it to the next level to not only improve your total body mobility, but also improve your strength and stability through mobilization, which is the three most important fundamentals for any kind of biomechanics. For example, when you're playing sports, you want to make sure that your body is mobile enough to move around freely the way you want to, but you also want to make sure that you have the strength and stability in your muscles and joints to protect yourself from injury. The same thing goes if you're picking up things from the ground. You want to make sure that you have mobility to get down there, but you want to also make sure that your muscles have the strength and stability to lift up whatever you're lifting up so that you're not going to put yourself at risk for, like I said, injuries. So the way you start off on this exercise is you basically start in a push-up position just like this, feet wide, hands directly underneath the shoulders, elbows in, pointing forward. Make sure your pelvis is rotated up in the front to make sure that you're not using your lower back. And also keep the hips nice and level. You don't want them to sink down. You also don't want to keep them up. Throughout this exercise, your hips are going to want to raise up, but really do your best to just keep them down. So the normal greatest stretch in the world is when you step like this, bring your foot and knee right next to the hand and the elbow, keeping this weight on the inside of the foot here, and the knee rotated out and the hip in, and you rotate up and reach to the sky just like that. So that's the regular version. The way you take it to the next level and add in more strength and stability in your hips while also improving their mobility is bringing your back foot out slightly wider, bringing both hands off the ground, keeping your hips down and your chest down and your back straight, and now you rotate without hands. And what you'll notice is you're having to engage your glutes and hips a lot more, so you're teaching yourself how to strengthen these muscles, engage these muscles while you're being mobile. So if you do it on the other side, it's the exact same thing. You step, hand is right next to the foot, bring this back foot out slightly wider, bring both hands off the ground, and you'll instantly feel your hips having to engage a lot more. Keep your hips and chest down, and then you rotate to the side as far as you can. And as you rotate, keep the ball of this foot down and keep your hip in as much as you can, because if you don't and your hip goes out like that, you try to twist, you're just going to fall over like that. So really focus on keeping this hip in, knee over the heel or ankle, and as you twist. And then once you've mastered that, you can work on rotating in both directions. So as you twist in the opposite direction, what you'll notice is it's engaging the inside of your leg a lot more. You have to pull this knee out, but still keeping the weight on the inside of the foot as you turn to the sky. So going back to this side, exact same thing. Twisting open here. If you don't keep your hip in, more than likely you're going to fall down. But again, that's working on your hip strength and stability with the mobility. And the way you make this a little more of a stretch and also more of a strengthening challenge is if you add a dumbbell. So now when you grab your dumbbell, keep your hips down and you twist, you want to reach to the sky. But what you'll notice is sometimes when you twist, you'll only get out to here. The dumbbell is a great indicator of how far you're twisting. So it forces you to open up even more. And obviously you want to do this without your hand on the ground to show you an example. But when your hand is down, you're able to twist there. When your hand is up, more than likely you'll only twist here. If you bring the dumbbell out, you see I'm not perfectly straight, so I have to rotate even more to open up my upper back and arms even more. And you see the exact same thing on the other side. Now I'm having to open up the hips even more to improve that mobilization. So if you are using a dumbbell, you can use something light. I wouldn't recommend going heavy because it's not necessarily for arm strength. It's more of a measuring tool of how far you're rotating open. But again, you can go a little heavier if you do want to get a little more arm strength, but definitely start light, just so that you can get the motion down. And just like with the regular stretch, if you don't have the mobility to start in a push-up position and step your foot forward, you can always start on your knees like this, and then step your leg through, and then straighten your back leg and come off your hands. Or you can just stay on your back knee, come off your hands, and rotate like that. It's going to be the exact same thing, but it's a little more easier for the beginners, I'll say. So if that's without weight, doing it with the weight, you can do the exact same thing, rotating up, and you're still working on your hip mobility throughout your body. But ideally, you want your back leg to be nice and straight for the most optimal challenge. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or requests, make sure you leave them in the comments so that I can continue to make content that will bring out your ultra instinct.